Today, I'm super excited to dive into something we've all wondered about. How do you say the right things to make someone truly fall for you? And no, this isn't about manipulation or cheesy pickup lines. This is about real, meaningful conversations that make people connect with you on a deeper level. Let's be real, sometimes figuring out what to say can feel like solving a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Have you ever been in a conversation where you just blanked out, thinking, what do I even say next? Or maybe you felt like no matter what you said, it just wasn't hitting right. Well, that's about to change. I'll share 10 specific things you can say to build that connection, make him feel special, and maybe even leave him thinking about you long after. So, stick around because number 7 is something most people never even think to say, but it works like a charm. Oh, and don't worry, this is going to be fun, lighthearted, and full of little gems you can actually use. Let's get started. Number 1. Show genuine curiosity. Here's the thing. People love talking about themselves, especially when they feel like someone truly cares. So, instead of asking the usual, how's it going? Or, what's up? Try something that shows real curiosity. For example, if he mentions he's into something like cooking, ask, what's your favorite dish to make and why? When you ask thoughtful questions, it shows you're not just passing time, you actually care about what makes him tick. Plus, it opens up the conversation for stories. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good story? Here's a fun example. Say he tells you he loves running marathons. Instead of saying, cool, try, how do you even train for that? I can barely run for 5 minutes without gasping for air. Throwing in a little humor makes you relatable and keeps the vibe light. Questions like these make him feel seen and valued, which is a huge deal. Have you ever noticed how people light up when they talk about something they're passionate about? Give it a try. You'll see the difference it makes. Number 2. Notice the little things. Let me tell you, nothing stands out more than a genuine compliment. But here's the catch. Don't stick to the obvious stuff like, you look good today. Instead, point out something unique. For example, if he always has a calm demeanor, say something like, you have this way of staying cool no matter what. How do you do that? Or maybe he's great at cracking jokes in awkward situations. Call it out. You always know how to lighten the mood. Teach me your ways. People are used to surface-level compliments, but when you notice the little things, it shows you're paying attention. And honestly, that's rare. Have you ever had someone notice something unique about you? Didn't it just make your day? Exactly. Here's a little humor for you. If he's wearing mismatched socks and you notice, you can say, I see you're starting the next big fashion trend. Bold move. Light teasing, when done right, can add a playful dynamic to your conversation. Number 3. Bring humor into the mix. Laughter is truly the universal language of love. If you can make someone laugh, you're already halfway to their heart. The key is to keep it natural. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian, just share funny little stories or observations. For example, if you're out somewhere together, and you see something quirky, point it out. Maybe there's a guy walking 5 dogs at once, and you say, do you think they're walking him instead? Humor creates shared moments, and those moments build connection. Here's a question for you. When's the last time you laughed so hard it hurt? Think about that moment. Chances are, the person who made you laugh is someone you feel connected to, right? That's the magic of humor. It bridges the gap between people. Number 4. Be supportive, but not overbearing. When he's sharing a challenge or a goal, being supportive can mean the world. But here's the trick. Don't try to fix everything for him. Instead, just let him know you're there. For example, if he says he's stressed about work, you could say, I know you've got a lot on your plate, but you're one of the most capable people I know. You'll figure it out. I believe in you. It's simple, but it shows you're on his side. And let's be real, we all need someone in our corner. Have you ever had a rough day, and someone said just the right thing to pick you up? Be that person for him. Number 5. Ask open-ended questions. Let's flip the script on the typical conversations. Instead of saying, how was your day? Which usually gets a one-word answer, ask something like, what was the best part of your day? This not only keeps the conversation going, but also helps you learn more about what makes him happy. And let's face it, it's way more interesting than the usual small talk. Here's a funny example. If he says something unexpected, like, "The best part of my day was finally fixing my Wi-Fi," you can laugh and say, "So we're living in the golden age of Wi-Fi now?" Humor keeps things light, even in everyday conversations. Number 6. Share something personal. Let's switch gears for a moment. A great way to make someone feel connected to you is to open up about yourself. But here's the key: don't overshare. It's not about dumping your life story all at once. Instead, share a small, meaningful detail that invites him to do the same. For example, you could say, "I used to get so nervous speaking in front of people, but I forced myself to get better." What about you? Do you ever get nervous about stuff like that? When you share something a little vulnerable, it creates a safe space for him to open up, too. And here's the magic. When people feel like they can share their own stories with you, the connection deepens naturally. Have you ever had someone tell you a story about their past that made you see them in a new light? That's the power of a little personal touch. It makes everything feel real and relatable. Plus, it shows you're not afraid to be human, which is incredibly attractive. Number 7. Playfully challenge him. Okay, hear me out. Sometimes, being a little playful and challenging can be a game changer. For instance, if he says something like, "I'm the best at making lasagna," you can respond with, "Oh really? That's a big claim. Guess you'll have to prove it." This light teasing creates a fun, flirty energy that keeps the conversation lively. It also shows that you're confident enough to keep things interesting without being mean-spirited. Here's a question. How many times have you been in a conversation that felt way too serious? A little playful banter can be like hitting the refresh button. It keeps things fresh and exciting. Pro tip: don't overdo it. Keep it light, and always follow up with something positive so it doesn't come across as too competitive. You want to spark fun, not a rivalry. Number 8. Use his name. Here's a simple yet powerful trick. Use his name in conversation. Think about it. When someone says your name, doesn't it make you perk up a little? It feels personal, like they're really talking to you. For example, instead of saying, "That's a good idea," you could say, "That's a good idea, Chris. How did you come up with that?" It might seem small, but it makes a big impact. Want to take it a step further? Pair his name with a compliment. Something like, "You know what, Alex? You're seriously one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met." Boom, instant connection. Using someone's name shows you're fully engaged in the conversation, and it makes them feel seen. Try it, it's subtle, but the results are amazing. Number 9. Talk about the future. Talking about the future can be a great way to build connection without being too heavy. The trick is to keep it fun and lighthearted. For instance, if you're out grabbing coffee, you could say, "You know, in 10 years, I bet we'll both be sitting in some fancy cafe in Paris, reminiscing about how we used to grab lattes here." Future talk plants a seed in his mind. It subtly suggests that you see him as part of your life down the line, even if it's just a casual, fun idea. Here's a question for you. Have you ever imagined a future moment with someone and felt a little excited about it? That's the effect you're creating here. It's like giving him a glimpse of a shared adventure, which is super compelling. Number 10. Show gratitude. Last but definitely not least, gratitude. Seriously, this is one of the most underrated ways to make someone feel appreciated. For example, if he does something small, like holding the door or helping you with something, don't just say, "Thanks." Instead, try something like, "You're so thoughtful, thank you." It really means a lot. Gratitude isn't just polite, it's powerful. It makes people feel valued, and it shows that you don't take them for granted. Here's a little humor for you. If he offers to carry something heavy, you could say, "You're basically a superhero. Should I start calling you Superman now?" Playful compliments paired with genuine thanks go a long way. Have you ever felt unappreciated in a relationship? Then you know how impactful a simple thank you can be. It's such a small thing, but it can leave a lasting impression. The best part? These aren't just lines to memorize. They're tools to help you show up as your most authentic, confident self. Which one of these are you excited to try first? Or maybe you've already been doing some of these without even realizing it. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips like these. Until next time, take care and keep spreading those good vibes.